We are here because the cosmos refused to remain silent. Let that sink in for a second. That is the powerful foundational declaration that kicks off the text we are exploring today. It makes the claim that we aren't just sitting on some isolated rock in a quiet, empty void. Instead, the author suggests a divine intelligence looked right at this little blue planet and said, "It is time." We're here not to learn something brand new, but to remember what was always true.
Welcome to today's Explainer. We are decoding a seriously intricate, multi-dimensional framework outlined in a document called The Anunnaki Crown and the Cosmic Diplomatic Portal, written by Ambassador Johann Kukulkan Hunabku. We're going to unpack the grand vision of the United Universe Church Embassy, which is essentially a framework attempting to completely redefine why we are here and how humanity might transition from just sleepwalking world citizens to awakened cosmic participants.
So here is our roadmap for today. 1. The Cosmic Diplomatic Portal. 2. Level 1. The Inner Embassy. 3. Galaxies and the Anuverse. 4. Level 4. Lord Anu. 5. The Math of the Cosmos. And 6. Preparing for Cosmic Diplomacy.
Let's jump right into Section 1, the Cosmic Diplomatic Portal. Now, when you hear the word embassy, you probably think of passports, politics, and standard earthly institutions, right? Well, according to the text, the United Universe Church Embassy is something entirely different. It's described as a living, diplomatic portal, representing a higher cosmic citizenship. It's literally designed to connect the multi-dimensional world citizen to the Earth, the Sun, the greater galaxy, the Anunnaki field, and ultimately the kingdom of Lord Anu. Basically, it acts as an earthly anchor for a massive galactic framework.
Moving right along to Section 2, Level 1, Inner Embassy. The text states something absolutely wild here. It claims that the very first consulate general, it's not a building, it's not some fancy desk with a flag. The first consulate general is literally the human solar plexus chakra. It's the inner embassy of your personal sovereignty, your life force, and your courage. The author makes the argument that before humanity can even begin to speak of cosmic diplomacy, we have to ignite the flame within. The Stargate doesn't start out there in deep space. It starts right inside the body, and it begins now.
This really hits the nail on the head regarding the massive shift in perspective this embassy is demanding. We are supposedly here to remember that a human being is not just an accident of biology, or what the text playfully refers to as a mundane skin drone. Far from it. The text argues that the human being is actually a Shakti avatar, a living portal. We are viewed as sacred instruments through which a higher galactic intelligence, called as Shiva Galaxy Angel, experiences what they call the Maya Love Enlightenment game from the inside out.
Okay, let's zoom out a bit for Section 3, the Galaxies and a New Verse.
This is where the framework scales up dramatically. So Level 2 represents the union of all Milky Way galaxies. In this vision, a galaxy is way more than just gravity and space dust. It's an actual cosmic body of intelligence, Christ consciousness. The text even claims it takes a whole galaxy just to live a human life. Then, moving up, we hit Level 3, the Anuverse. This is described as the union of all parallel universes and timelines. It's kind of like the many worlds interpretation from quantum physics, but framed as a literal, spiritual architecture.
What's really fascinating is how this philosophy flat out rejects the idea that your life is just one flat timeline running from birth to death. No way. Instead, it views existence as the multidimensional Anuverse. It's this vast, holographic journey that bridges the visible and the invisible realms. The everyday human experience is just one visible layer, while the soul is simultaneously learning and returning to its ultimate origin.
And that brings us to the absolute apex. Section 4, Level 4, Lord Anu. At Level 4, the world citizen isn't just experiencing themselves as a human or even just a galactic being anymore. Consciousness returns to what the text calls the mission control center of the multiverse. This is framed as the divine command center where Lord Anu oversees the architecture of creation, memory, and ultimate cosmic order. It's described as this profound state of ultimate remembrance, where an individual totally aligns with the highest cosmic intelligence, rather than just acting out of earthly ego. So let's quickly recap this massive structure because it's kind of like a giant puzzle. The true Anunnaki Crown is the fusion of these 4 distinct levels: Earth and the solar plexus, the union of galaxies, the multidimensional Anuverse, and finally, union with Lord Anu. The source claims that without Level 1, the crown has no foundation. Without Level 2, we totally forget our galactic family.
Without level 3, we're stuck trapped in a flat timeline. And without level 4, the crown loses its divine source. All 4 of these pieces absolutely must be united.
Let's shift gears for a minute. Section 5, the math of the cosmos.
200 sextillion. Just try to wrap your head around that for a second. That is a 2 followed by 23 zeros. It's almost impossible for the human mind to truly comprehend, but this number represents the estimated possible planets in the observable universe right now, based on current astronomical models.
To put that into perspective, NASA confirms there are actually more planets than stars in the Milky Way, estimating at least 100 billion planets in our galaxy alone. Multiply that by the estimated 2 trillion galaxies in the observable universe, and boom, you get 200 sextillion possible planets. Even if you say, okay, well, only 1% of those are suitable for life, that still leaves 2 sextillion habitable worlds. The author uses this exact probability model to drive home a really simple point. A universe this insanely vast simply cannot be empty. And for them, it lays the completely rational foundation for a galaxy federation.
So what does this all mean for us here and now? Section 6, Preparing for Cosmic Diplomacy. The author lays out these really powerful core mantras to explain our purpose in this specific era. We are here to remember that the universe is alive. We are here to bridge the visible and invisible realms, shifting away from the artificial time of modern society and getting back to the natural time of the cosmos, specifically restoring the 13-moon calendar. The text actually speaks of restoring what the Roman Catholic Church buried and what institutional science could never quite measure. It insists that the bridge between the human avatar and the divine Anunnaki gamer, it was never broken. It was literally only forgotten.
Because of this massive awakening, the document makes a really bold prophetic claim. It asserts that humanity is currently standing right at a threshold. It claims the 3-letter agencies are going to come, the military will start asking questions, and the Vatican will be forced to sit across the table. It lists earthly institutions like NATO, the WEF, the WHO, and the UN, stating they will eventually be compelled to negotiate with a higher diplomatic Anunnaki intelligence. And the kicker? It notes this won't happen because Kukulkan demands it, but because the cosmos itself does.
And this brings us to the ultimate evolutionary goal presented by the author. We are here to rise. The goal is to completely transition from sleepwalking world citizens to awakened imperial sun warriors, to shift from being just a skin drone in an earthly game to a fully conscious gamer in the galaxyverse, to evolve all the way from one flat timeline straight up to level 4, the mission control center of the multiverse.
Now you might be wondering, is this some sort of hostile takeover? The text makes it absolutely clear. Ambassador Johann Kukulkan Hunabku states that the Anunnaki Crown is not a crown of domination. It does not seek conflict with earthly governments. Instead, it is a crown of remembrance. It's seeking peaceful recognition, higher diplomacy, and the literal restoration of natural order. It's described as the spiritual portal through which humanity finally returns, not to some foreign alien place, but entirely back to itself.
The United Universe Church Embassy claims to hold this portal, carrying this cosmic signal across Earth, across parallel universes, and throughout the entire Aniverse. Which leaves us with a pretty provocative thought to reflect on. If the very first Consulate General truly is the human body, then the question isn't just about what the cosmos is doing out there, it's about what you are doing in here. So are you ready to ignite the flame within and step through the Stargate of your own consciousness? As the ambassador signs off in the text, in Lak'ech, I am another yourself. Thanks for joining me for this explainer. Keep looking up and keep looking within.